Welcome to Nature Storytime with Former. Today we're going to be reading Winter Trees, written by Carol Gerber and illustrated by Leslie Evans. Crunch! We walk through the fresh snow that sparkles on the frozen ground. It's peaceful here among the trees. Our footsteps make the only sound. Trees that once had leaves are bare, they're dressed instead in lacy white. Snow dusts their trunks and coats their limbs with flakes that outline them with light. They stand distinct as skeletons. We clearly see the form of each, the egg shape of the maple tree, the taller oval of the beech. The V formation of the birch, the yellow poplar wide and high. The spreading structure of the oak, its branches reaching toward the sky. The sugar maple's bark is gray, the twigs are brown, its buds are stout, with claw-like tips that in the spring will burst to shoot new green leaves out. The beech tree called American has bark that's smooth and silver gray. Tan leaves still cling to limbs and branches on this cold, bright winter day. The peeling bark of paper birch feeds hungry hares that eat their fill. Inside the trunk, a narrow nest protects a bird from winter's chill. Tall yellow poplar's furrowed bark surrounds a trunk that's straight and neat. Its reddish twigs hold puffy buds for deer a tasty winter treat. See bur oak's ridged, enormous trunk, its massive limbs that intertwine. Its tangled twigs that twist and point, a strange bewitching tree to find. The evergreens don't change their look. We see their needles all year round, but older needles near the trunk drop off and fall onto the ground. Eastern hemlock's sloping branches droop with tiny twigs and cones. The hemlock lives for centuries. Look how huge this tree has grown. White spruce looks like a pyramid. Cones hang from branches near the crown. Don't touch its needles. Ouch! They're sharp. Its scaly bark is grayish-brown. Before we go, let's roll some snow. We'll make a snowman who will wear small twigs and pine cones for his face and leaves from beech trees for his hair. You can identify trees in winter by looking at the shapes formed by their trunks and bare limbs. Each type of tree has a distinct shape. A tree's bark, twigs, and inactive buds also help identify it in winter. Twigs are the tiny branches that bear buds. These buds can produce leaves, flowers, or both. The trunks and branches of evergreen trees form distinct shapes too. Evergreens are covered in thin, pointed leaves called needles. They hold on to their needles all year, making these trees evergreen. Each type of evergreen has its own color, length, and texture of needles. In spring, the buds on the evergreen trees produce tiny branches. Small cones grow on the new branches of some evergreens. Other types of evergreens bear small seeds or berries. Every tree goes through a similar cycle each year. In spring, new leaves or branches grow from buds. In summer, the tree keeps growing. In autumn, leaves from many types of trees die and fall off. In the winter, these trees become dormant or inactive. Now that we finished our story, we're going to make our own winter tree. So for this, you're going to need some blue construction paper, white paint, twigs and branches that you find, some glue, some puff balls or cotton balls or Q-tips, depending on what you have. So we're going to start by gluing down our trunk right in the middle of our paper, and we're going to build our tree up off of that. And then you're going to add some other twigs and branches and start making them look like, other branches coming off of a tree. And keep going until you have a good tree shape. Once that's done, we're going to add our snow. So I found a piece of scrap paper and I put some paint on there. And then I started dipping our little puff balls into that paint. So depending, what size puff balls that you have, it's part of the fun. So I made a big snow drift on the bottom. And then I added some smaller puff balls to start making our little snowflakes falling down. Then last, you'll see that I added some paint on the branches themselves just to look like our tree is a little bit snowy. And then once you have it how you like it, you're finished.